Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirushu here, and now, before I do get started, let me go ahead and give a brief little review. In the last part, we had a number of events happening. Now, Marcy, she has finally given birth to the children, and this was quite the monumentous occasion. Right now, however, a lot of other things are currently happening in the Mojave. Deku, he got a nuclear bomb from Courier 6. The Vault is spending some time making sure they can make it a viable weapon to use against the Legion. Now, while that's currently happening, there is the fact that Deku went to go meet with Kaisar, and the man was really not happy to hear about how Vault 16 will cut ties with the Legion as potential allies. And this, it did mean that the man would slowly but surely succumb to his brain cancer. Now, Deku, he even threatened the idea of dropping a bomb on the man's territory if he does not order the immediate retreat of his troops. The man did not do so, even going so far as to threatening Deku and his people. And then Deku proceeded to spill that man's guts on the camp, kill all of his men, and then label him as a heretic of the Legion in his own throne, where his corpse was later found by his own men. Now, Legate Lanius, he was enraged to hear this news 4 days later. It traveled across Legion territory and made its way to him. Right now, he is leading an army on to the Mojave. If these people are what he thinks they are, then that does mean a number of things. Stories of the Mojave are odd and weird, and some, he believes, are blown out of proportion. Right now, he plans to murder the members of Vault 16, take on the NCR in their weakened state, and claim Hoover Dam for their glorious leader who has died. The Legion will still stand. The Legion will slowly make its way into California after taking the Mojave. Then, they will dispatch the NCR and keep moving forwards until they reach that blue gem known as the ocean. That was the man's current plan. And we do currently have Deku. Deku, he does sit in his room, a lot going through his mind. Right now, he does sit with his son Connor and his daughter Rosaline. The two, they have been quite fussy, and the other two are currently still asleep. It feels a little odd being a dad. I mean, it's a little weird. Then again, he does have a lot going through his own mind right now. The two are human. There's still a part of them in there, and, well, there's still a part of humanity in him. I mean, he doesn't know all the scientific bullshit behind it, but he knows that the same thing in his blood is in theirs. Then again, no. He's trying to distract his mind from those thoughts again. He's got to remember what exactly he's trying to focus on. With that on his mind, Deku going to lean back in his chair as the two, they do start to try and explore the room again. And he himself does go to think about it again. The Legion, they will find a way into the Mojave. They're expecting them to come from Arizona. If that does happen, it can be quite problematic. It does mean a number of things. They've already reached out to the boomers over at Nellis, and they are quite intrigued about the biggest bomb they can drop, the biggest amount of ordnance their people have the pleasure of delivering. They will need more fuel. That is a certainty. That will be possible. But protecting those people when they do have to land to refuel, and even finding areas to do so, that can be more problematic. There is the idea of letting Samuel or even Marcy drop the bomb. But I mean, that's a dangerous proposition. A payload that isn't properly set, and, well, a bomb that isn't properly, you know. There was even a plan to sneak in the bomb to Legion territory. But it does turn worrisome. There's even the idea of just letting their troops take over Hoover Dam and meet the Legion in a head-on fight. Let the mutants brawl. That is a good idea, if not a dangerous one. If they do meet them at the dam, once they do cross it, what will they find? Legion territory? The Legion there? Yeah, he thinks that's exactly what they'll find. Then again, there is the idea of using the Scorch Beast in their sonic attack to bombard their forces with energy. Overwhelm them completely. It might be possible for the mutants, but they might take on their own form of casualties. Some mutants are currently indisposed. That on his mind. Though a few others are probably more up and willing to the task. Unfreeze the rest of the mutants they have, or mutate the other vault dwellers and see what they can do. He's already taken a head count. They have over 70 mutants. That's quite a substantial amount of their population. Almost a tenth. Almost a tenth. What does that mean? There are some who are quite adamant about not mutating. The Overseers are choosing to remain human for now. And Mia has been quite adamant about changing. His mom is worried about what the change can do to her. She's seen what it does to him. And that's another thought. His mom won't voice it, but the way she does look at him, it's a little problematic. She knows. She does know. But he's not a monster. He just keeps people safe. The demon. That's what he is to the outside world. But here he's a father. Here he's someone who wants to shield many people from the outside world. But right now it will come down and try to kill them all. And that thought, that's the one that does make Deku feel angry. That primal aggression to protect his clan is there. Something wants to come in and kill his family. Take out his kids. And he doesn't want to allow that. Both of his sides agree on that one fact. If anything tries to harm their pack, it will die, screaming and ripped to shreds. And that's something that Deku, he does feel firmly about. By now, him being snapped out of his contemplation, whenever he does go to hear a small sound. Turning and going to look at Chloe, who does go to hold up Connor. Right now, him going to reach out a hand and try to grab out to Chloe's face. And Rosaline, she currently is trying to climb on top of the couch. Deku chuckling a bit at that. And there is later. Deku, he does leave the residence and head out over to the technological division, where a number of people they are running back and forth and talking about a few things. Getting this warhead prepared is gonna be easy. Though, there's only the fact that they're going to be taking some of their own supplies from their own Vault reactor and essentially replacing the batteries in a nuclear bomb. It's way more complicated than that. But as long as they don't see this as a nuclear warhead that might pop and blow up the entire fucking world they live in, it's less likely to make them want to cry or shit their pants. Or feel like their heart is trying to leap out of their goddamn chest. So that is the easiest thing that they can do. And Deku, he does understand their dilemma. They already made sure the bomb was deactivated before they brought it down into the vault. After they brought it down, they made sure to start with disabling the device, taking everything out that was radioactive, and making sure when they do start to put things back in, they can put it in properly and get the type of boom they do want. Though, there was even the fact that they started discussing things and figuring out how to get the best yield for this explosive. It was a bit of back and forth between a number of people, but they could just use the nuclear material that was already in the warhead, see about expanding and maybe adding a bit more, and, well, you should get the explosion, the radius, the boom, and then the fallout that should take out a number of people in the surrounding area. It should do a lot of the work for them after it does go off. It will majorly affect the Legion territory. And that was something that Deku, he understood. Right now, them going to continue their work as Deku does going to meet with the Overseers, talking about what's going to be happening. The NCR do still want to meet. And while that is something that Deku would rather avoid, they have been inquiring as to the state of Caesar's death, as to the state of their alliance, and if they should be looking at defending Hooverdam soon. They were put on high alert, and they have stayed that way. Deku's talked about sending forces out there, but without proper time to set things up, the dam, it's something that they are willing to lose. Let the Legion take it, and then wait them out. They're angry. They're pissed. Right now, they are a heavyweight fighter that was put on the back foot. He went the first round without taking a punch. He thought he was doing good the second round, and then there was that one punch that finally set him off. It did more than just rattle him. It gave him a bloody nose. Along with that, it did make his teeth start clicking and sound pretty bad. The guy didn't expect to take that much damage, and right now he's got to prove to himself he can take you down, kill you, and get back what he feels like he's lost. He lost the momentum he carried. The Legion lost that momentum. Without their boss, without their leader, they don't feel like they have anything. It's a bit hypocritical. The guy built an empire around himself and had no one who could pick it up if he ever died. He didn't think he could. Be it his ego, be it some sort of complex, or be it because of irony. The Legion was never meant to last. Not with him in charge. Not with their ideas. And that's something that Deku can't understand. The Overseers, they, however, are quite wary about what their next actions will be. They have infinite power for the vault. They have infinite power for the airport. They're mainly self-sufficient, and with the fact that the number of mutants are beginning to go up, if they do have an attack come down on them, They should be able to hold out for months if the Legion does take Hoover Dam. And that was something that Deku he heard about. It does mean quite a bit. And there is the next 2 weeks. They do start to hear about news. The Legions march west. In that amount of time, the Boomers, they do start their long, long trip. Well aware of what it does mean. A vertibird will accompany them on this long flight. And the warhead, it has been remodeled, remade, and the excess, it has been taken away. They managed to shrink it down. It's something that will fit on the bomber, but deploying it is going to be a little bit more tricky. They don't have the proper system to just slide it off the aircraft, so they need to push it. A parachute will deploy and buy them some time. There was also the idea of rigging it with a time bomb, letting it go off that way. Letting it be a simple impact could do a number of things. Though if the Legion do also shoot at it, it's less likely to detonate, especially in case no proper cell. If it's a time bomb, then they might be able to try and mess with it. Then again, it's easy to reset a clock. Now try asking a caveman to do that. That's what Deku can think of when he thinks of the Legion. They wouldn't be able to figure out the tech to disarm it. Plus, if they cut the wrong wire, their people would still be in the blast range and it would go off. The plane would go down, and they have a problem there. The plan is still coming together. And today it's going to go down. The bomber taking flight as Deku, he does go to bring up his Pip-Boy and ask the team about information on Hoover Dam. And they are somewhat talking about it. Him watching a vertibird fly off with extra rations of fuel for the bomber. It's going to mean quite a bit, though they don't have much on Hoover Dam. They know about the march west, and their people should be about still 2, maybe 3 days out. Though, they haven't gotten any reports back from the Sky Team. They have had reports that Samuel, he's gone in to rattle them up a bit, let them know that the Mojave isn't some easy territory they can come, but the mental warfare is a little bit more strenuous. So far, the casualties, from what he's heard, have been minimal compared to the amount of forces that are marching. And he does it a nod, talking about how he does want an update again. Right now, their people will get prepared and head out to Hoover Dam soon. I'll take a number of mutants, and things will proceed there. Now, Deku, he does try to enjoy this remaining time. Time with his family, time in the vault, even gathering people together for a family dinner. They haven't been doing it quite often. Mia, she's still a bit adamant about getting in and mutating. Inko, she has warmed up to her grandchildren quite a bit. She's helped run tests on them and make sure they're healthy, along with the fact that their DNA, while it is a little wonky, it still is good. There's no negative signs of any mental disorders, nor physical disorders. In fact, the FEV, from her understanding, it's made them quite healthy children. More so than she's thought before. And she does have her own concerns. Though those could be years down the line, they will figure it out. So watch closely and make sure to help them out. Though, she herself is quite happy seeing the ease Deku seems to be in. His eyes aren't that dark, that dark void she saw when he came back. He doesn't have this 1,000 yard stare and this feeling like he's gonna explode into movement and kill you. Her son, maybe after everything that's happened to him, after all of it, he's finally started healing. It's taken a good couple of months, a number of months actually. But perhaps one day everything will be behind them. Though Mojave, it will be great. A good place to live, and a bastion of the old world. They can help rebuild, help make the new world better. It's definitely a nice thought. One she does wish she could live to see. Though, if it does take 40 years, she's not sure if she's going to have that in her. The overseers, they've got stressful jobs. And thinking about herself, she really doesn't want to be in that position. Especially now that that door is open. And there is Deku. Deku, he does rally all those who do want to fight for the Mojave. A number of people. They do go to leave. Right now, him in his normal outfit. He does have his chest bare, well aware that his own skin is enough body armor. He does have these strange little wraps around his legs that are more akin to shoes for a mutant. Things that don't exactly destroy under their mutations. It will work. And the teams do go to head out. When they do go to arrive to Hoover Dam, they do try to remain peaceful. While the NCR is quite antsy about a number of them, they are happy to see reinforcements. Even if it's the legion of monsters they didn't know existed. And it does mean a bit. There are a number of Deathclaws. There are a number of flying creatures, and, well, there's 4 different scorched monsters. That on some of their minds. They really don't want to be scared, but the amount of overwhelming force here does show a number of things. It's only after Deku shrunk down and met with the commander that the man, he truly started to feel a bit more at ease. Deku ordering his own soldiers to shift back. And someone, they felt a little mollified after seeing a giant super mutant behemoth go to shrink down. The thing was like, what was that? 20 feet tall, if not more? And then it shrunk down to a man. He had green skin, but he was still fucking huge. A strong looking bastard. That's what he was. And Deku, he made things quite clear. Right now, he's expecting that the Legion, they're gonna want to retreat. Though, he really is not certain. He sent a weapon into their territory to destroy one of their locations. It's a warning about heading west. It should be dropping soon. Though, he's really expecting this to be bad. The Legion will want to push more. But once they realize that one of their cities has been destroyed, they may want to go try and figure out how to rebuild it. You really expect that? I don't expect it. I'm expecting a number of the Legion, they want to retreat. I don't know much about this Leggett guy. But I've heard muttered conversation from the Legion. And Evelyn has heard a lot of conversation in Caesar's thoughts. You have. Wait, thoughts? Yes, I can read minds. It's one of my gifts. Her saying it a little proudly. And Deku does a smack her on the back as she does a wince, talking about it. Yes, well, if he decides to talk about it, then know that it might be a very, very bad idea. She does have this guy right here pointing a finger directly Deku's face, a thumb talking about it. He may just tear him to shreds to keep the secret. One of their vaults was protected. She's seen him rip a man in half. It's quite horrifying. Her saying it as nonchalantly as she can, watching the man's face grow progressively more and more pale. As Deku does somewhat chuckle and talk about it, he's just messing with him. She can't really read minds. The man going to someone on his head and freeze. Him noting down, Deku never corrected him about ripping a man in half. And he does to watch Deku whenever he does it turn to the man. His eyes going to somewhat narrow in a knowing smile. As he does go to turn, him giving out orders to his men to make way for the members of Vault 16. And some of these people, they do go to stare at this force. I mean, the demon. It's on Hoover fucking Dam. And it does plan to help them when the battle does go down. Though they do to watch on a number of other mutants. Some people in the NCR do to turn and just stare. Since they've all heard stories and rumors, seeing an actual Scorched Beast in the flesh along with the Deathclaw Man, the way he fucking arrived. I mean, shit. These people, they're dangerous. And Evelyn, she also to note down a passing thought she hears about someone talking about them potentially taking Hoover Dam. And it does mean quite a bit. Right now, they do go to get ready, waiting for the Legion who will make a move. If this man is as deranged as Evelyn does say he sounds, it means he will make a point. He won't make camp. His people will come in and he will want to fight. And that does mean quite a lot. They've made sure to pressure his forces, keep them on the run, keep them moving. They can't back out. They just have to keep moving forwards and hoping they don't lose all their men before they get to Hoover Dam. And that is a tactic Deku is quite proud the team has come up with. Push them. Make sure they know they're in a bit of a bind. There will be a creature that will want to take them out. Now, Deku, he does try to order the NCR back, allowing the mutants to handle the situation. And some members of the NCR, they are more than willing to do so. Though the superiors, they're not that happy. If their people are the ones defending the dam, that's a good thing. This is part of their territory. Having someone else come in and say they're dealing with the situation does mean a bit. Then again, this is the Deathclaw Man, the demon. The man who destroyed the Enclave, who's fought impossible odds, destroyed the Brotherhood, walked in and murdered the leader of the Legion. His whole life story, from what they understand about his time in the Mojave, is a mythical journey. Impossible odds are his bread and butter. And he's just one guy. And around them are dozens and dozens of people who may just be like him. If one guy can shift the tide of a battle, of a war, then what the fuck can the dozens around them do? It does mean a lot. The NCR, they do have tales of vault dwellers, mythical people. And that, it does mean quite a bit. Now, there is where a massive creature, it does come flying down to the dam. Right now, it's going to land at the camp that they are in. And Deku, he does go to stand there in the Legion camp, on the other side of Hoover Dam. The Legion did have a short withdrawal. They reconvened to try and figure out what was happening and understand the situation with their leaders. They pulled back and planned to meet the dam with the attacking force. And there is where the legate, he does lead their charge. Though he saw the same massive creature stalking his people, standing there with a man. Right now, upon the approach, the man, he stood there. Right now, him stepping forwards, barefooted, and with a bare torso. He had reptilian-like eyes, a body, a tapestry of scars. And he did go to somewhat, in his own mind, give the man respect. The body tells a war. This man has fought quite a lot of war. He's fought his own. Though, when he does get closer and closer, he does see the man's appearance. He does have hair growing. He does have a trimmed beard, one cleaner than he's ever seen. He has a scar on the side of his eye. He does have one on the side of his face. And he does have the ones all on his torso. Along with the fact that he does have horns and those eyes. The eyes that do affix him with a gaze he's unfamiliar with. And it does feel a little odd to the man. The legate does it to stop his forces, stepping forwards and asking if he is the master of this beast, the one that has chased his legionaries so far west. I'm not. Right now, I am someone else. This beast, it's a friend of mine. Deku bring a hand up, patting Sam on the side, talking about it. It's one of theirs. They've got quite a few of them. In fact, he does believe the man knows who he is. He is the Legion's legate, correct? Yes. And who might you be? The man stepping forwards, a mask on his face covering him, along with the armor and his incredible size. This guy dwarfs Deku at almost 7 feet tall, though he is his own good 6 feet tall. He's got quite a lot of strength packed behind him. I mean, hell, if he was born in the vault, he's wondering what his genetics could reveal. You know who I am. I'm sure you do. Tales and stories, they must have gotten around. They have. You were in Arizona once. The Deathglow Man, riding his beast around for all to see, parading it around and seeing what it can do. You're a man of monsters, a man of creatures. Quite interesting, then, that you come to meet me. Do you meet me to die? No, I don't meet you to die. Behind those gates behind me, there's a full force of people just like me. Just like my friend here. Ready to kill all of you. You've been chased for days. Tired, barely allowed to rest, right? So I ask you this question. Do you wish to fight this war? Do you wish to try and see what you can do and discover you're not good enough? Your troops are tired. You're tired, aren't you? I am not. As long as Hoover Dam is still in the hands of the NCR, I will live. I will fight. I will make sure that the heretics and the profligates are nailed to the side facing west, and that Vegas will burn. I see. Well, how much do you know about me? You are a man of creatures, a man of monsters, though your pet isn't here to protect you. My pet? Can you believe this, Sam? I don't think he thinks that I'm it. I don't think so either. The legate turning his head, a little surprised. The beast talks. And Deku, he does a step forwards, informing the legate. He's only going to give him one offer. One time. Him beginning to shift and change. And the man's eyes and his brain do try to tell him different things. The man of monsters. In Arizona, he can be seen riding on a deathclaw. He can be seen making his way back to the Mojave. The Deathclaw Man. A man with reptilian eyes and horns on his head. Some say he's more animal than man. Some say he's got a touch of the creature in his blood. Some say he is the predecessor to an ancient god. All people have said different things, spread different words around. Though the god of war may have blessed him on this day. Standing before him is a 20-foot tall creature. A beast more monster than man. And it does gotta tell him. Coming down to all fours and beginning to move forwards. Some of the legionaries going to step back. Right now, leave, or his forces will kill all the legion. Spray their blood against the sand, and they we left to rot in the sun for the vultures to crow. I see. You wish us to retreat. I wish us to fight. I see. That's unfortunate. Single combat. Me and you. If you do win in the event, my forces will pull back. Interesting that you say that. And if you win, I expect your forces to pull back. We wish to take Hoover Dam. You'll understand if I'm reluctant to believe you. It's been a long march, hasn't it? Call it what you will. Even I understand whenever a fight may not be worth fighting. But I do wish to at least die for the glory of Kaiser. If that means one of us falls today, then that does mean one of us will fall today. You may not have your forces keep the honor of that promise. But answer me one question. Are all of your people like you? A couple dozen, actually. Not all like me, but... Sam? The man going to shrink down. Whenever he does go to fall onto his knees, he does go to turn. Right now, him going to stay on all fours and try to keep his body low to the ground. Him going to talk about it. And here he is without any change of clothes. The man staring at the legate. And the legate does turn his head, quite intrigued. Him shifting back into the giant scorched beast. And he does gonna nod his head. A bit in understanding. The Mojave may truly have become a lost place to be. The Legion may not advance. Something happened here that changed everything. A war. But that, it does get the man's blood pumping. The idea of an excitement. Today, his men will either storm the dam after he kills this man, or he'll die in glorious combat. Die in battle as the god of war does dictate. And that thought does stir the men on. There's even the idea that the both of them will die. He may have met an equal match of an opponent. Someone who can match him, nay, equal him in might. And he does express, does he accept this trial by combat? The Legion are many things, but they will follow his last dictation. I understand. Your men might not have a lot to look forward to going back to. We destroyed your capital in Arizona. How so? We've heard of no such news. Your city, Flagstaff, a large encampment for the Legion in Arizona, one of your main cities, we dropped a bomb on it. If I knew you'd be this cooperative, I may have changed my tactics against my enemies. But in, well, that case, that doesn't mean much. A lot of your people died. The fallout will kill more. If your men do retreat, they may be able to find families, people they love, people who matter to them. I know your doctrine. It's unlikely that they'll find anyone, but they can at least help the civilians. Your own empire is starting to fall. The Legion may not last for very long in the world we're trying to build. Change your ways. Go away from Kaisar. That's the best I can tell for your men. But I do accept your challenge. The man nodding his head, thankfully and understandingly. He only ever was given the chance to fight and die for Caesar. The men in his own tribe were cowardly and surrendered when that man came to subdue them. They fell by his hands. And right now, if the god of war does dictate, he will fall by this man's. A proper mutant. No, not that. A beast of legend. Is this the hound of the war god? He doesn't know who this man is. Whatever he is thankful he's been put in his path. Now, the two do go stepping forwards. The man covered in heavy armor, and Deku not wearing an ounce of it. Right now, the man with a weapon and going to stare on at Deku, quite curious if he's not going to have one himself. And Deku, he does shake his head no, well aware that he himself is a pretty good one. And the man, he does it a grin under his mask, knowing that this match will certainly be one spoken about in tales for ages. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.